Welcome back, guys. In this video we're going to talk about forms in HTML5. In the previous video we discussed about some semantic and non-semantic HTML5 tags div and span for the non-semantic, and articles, section, and form, table, or other semantic HTML5 element. So form is one of the semantic HTML5 element which tells the browser and decoder that I'm going to create a form. So let's get started, and first I'm going to remove the previous one. Let's just open the form tag and close it. So I'm typing the form and pressing the tab to get the form tag. Inside the form you can just put your inputs are the way that you get data from a user. Input, and you just press the tab. Okay, so input is a void tag and it is not having any ending tag at the end. It is having an type attribute which indicates whether what type of data you're going to get from the user, whether it is a text, email, or a number type, or date type. So let's demonstrate for the first one. To save it, and we just get it on the browser. Let me refresh it here. This is the text type. Our input is having text type, so we get here a text input, and we can type something like anything we want. Okay, if we just change the type to email, we can do that. Let's save it, and we get here the email type, and the type will affect at the end when we press the submit button. So if we don't put an add here or add here or .com or the other extensions, so it will give an error, and so asking you that you have to put an a prepared email inside this because the type is email. Then we have the number type here. Number type will have these indicators that we can just go through up and down, and we will have, for example, the minimum. We can do say the minimum number, for example, it must be 18. So let's save it and come here, and it will not be below the 18. And we can say for the max number, maximum should be 25, 24, for example. Let's save it and get here, and we cannot put a number more than 24. This was for the numbers. And if you change the type to date, we can get the date picker here, and we can go up and down. And next we have the time here. Let's save it and just we get the time if we want to get. Then we have the color. I will give you a color picker. And the next thing, we will have the checkbox. You might have seen in website, when you sign up or register, you have to check the checkbox and say that I'm agree with your terms of conditions. So that checkbox. And the next one, we have the radio. Let's save it, and we got this. Many websites we got this one. When you select the gender, male or female, so you select one of them. Or in objective questions, you have that of the 4 answers you have to select one, so you'll get this one. The next one in the input is the submit, which will give you a button type, something like submit. And you can change the value of the button by just writing the value attribute at the end and typing some text inside, for example, register. Another thing that we have inside the input is the placeholder. Let me change the type to text and remove this and set a placeholder. For example, placeholder your name. Let's save it. Okay, you got that placeholder inside the box, and you can do for everything. If you want email, type email, you can do that as well. Email your. And if you have date here, then you might not be able to write the placeholder because the placeholder will be the format of the date. And so for that we have another thing that we can wrap these things inside our label tag. And the okay, so when you write something inside the label tag, you can just give, for example, date of birth. Then in front of that you will This is because we are uh, writing HTML course, and nothing, no word or a sentence should be out of text. So that date of birth must be wrapped inside the label tag. And for the for attribute, we have to put an ID for our uh, input. For example, ID DOB, date of birth, and the for also date of birth. And this will just make it like, if you click on the date of birth, the text, the input gets focused. So that was for this one. And some more elements we have inside our form. For example, if someone wants to write a big essay or message, so we have the text area for that. Text area, let's save it, and what we get a text area here, and one can write as many as it wants. And you can put a placeholder as well. Don't write anything inside this one, because if you write inside the tag, it will be written here, the default text. So just give it a placeholder if you want. A placeholder and your message, for example, your message, save it. Okay, you get that. And when you write, the placeholder gets removed. The next thing inside the form that we have is the, let me give some br, is the select. Here you will have to select one option from many options. And the inside the select, you have to give the options. So you should use the option tag. And inside the option, for example, if you want to someone, if you want someone to select course, for example, let's try to select your course. Select your course. And therefore this is the, okay, the course should be like web designing. And the other course, for example, uh, Android development. But let's save it, and what we say, what we get here. Okay, so we have to disable the first one. This is not included in our choice, so we have to disable the first one and let others select from this too. So we have the attribute disabled. We can use that. Okay, by doing that, now that is not selected, the word is not coming right in front. Select your course, so we have to give another attribute here, and just saying selected. So, and now you select your course is selected, and when we click on it, and we cannot select it again, because we have to select from the other two options included. So this was all about the forms, and you can use as many input, as many labels, as many text area as you want. So I don't want the video to get longer, so thank you very much for this video. Kindly subscribe and share.